In this video, I'm going to show you how to get rid of pain in your SI joints by doing a surprisingly relaxing inner thigh stretch. I'm Krista with The Intelligent Body, and this is Ed. Reach around and touch your SI joints. And here's the surprising piece of information. It turns out your inner thighs link directly to this place in the back. So bring one hand down and drag it up your inner thighs, and the tissues go through your pelvic floor and across to the other SI joint. And then do it up the other side. Up your inner thigh, goes through the pelvic floor to the SI joint. So we're going to soften the tissues of the inner thighs and have pain disappear from the back. Come down onto the floor to get started feeling better. On the floor, you'll need 2 yoga blocks or anything that will act as yoga blocks. You could use books, you could use blankets, although I like something firmer if you have it. You put the blocks on either side of your knees. You come onto your back and you put the blocks at your knees so that you have the most mild stretch in your inner thighs that you could barely think of it as a stretch. And you bring your head down. It could also be nice to have your head on a blanket or a pillow, and then you lengthen it a little so you get length in your neck. Once you get there, you breathe. And you're looking for a stretch in your inner thighs that is so mild, it's barely a stretch. I call it a stretch before the stretch. And then you bring your arms out to the sides. If you have the flexibility in your chest, you bring your arms into the shape of a goalpost. And you start to breathe. And you might be thinking, how is this going to release pain in my SI joints? And here's how. Remember, the inner thigh muscles, the connective tissue of the inner thigh muscles comes up, and at the bones of the pelvic floor, it goes inside and becomes the connective tissue at the front of the SI joint on the other side. Breathe and relax while we do the other side. The tissues come up the other leg. At the bones of the pelvis, it goes inside and becomes the tissues at the front of the SI joint on the opposite side. So by doing this very gentle stretch, you're lengthening the connective tissue. Connective tissue takes longer to lengthen than muscle. So yeah, while I'm here talking and you're laying in this position, the tissues are already starting to relax. Breathe. And you could lengthen, think of lengthening your spine. But the main thing is to feel yourself breathing and relaxing. After a few minutes, you'll feel that things have loosened up a little bit, and you can move the block out a little and increase the stretch very mildly. What will happen as you rest here is the tissues of your inner thighs will soften, and so will some of the tissues in your low back, and you'll feel more options and less pain around your SI joints. The cool thing about doing this is you have to relax, and we all need more relaxation. Let's face it, we live in a world where there's no shortage of stuff to do and a dearth of relaxation. So by having to find ways to get rid of pain in your SI joints, you get to relax more. And that will be its own benefit to other parts of your health. Now, look and see if things might have loosened up a little more. Wherever your position is, I mean, your position could be really close. You could have super open inner thighs and your legs are further apart. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you go to the place of the stretch before it's a stretch, and you breathe and relax. So what I'd like for you to do is practice this longer than this video is providing, And I'd like for you to comment what you notice with your SI joints. This is only one inner thigh stretch, but you could start to be creative and see what other gentle ways can I find to soften the tissues of my inner thighs and see what kind of difference it makes in your SI joints. So to come out of the pose, bring your knees up, roll onto one side, make your way up. When you come up into standing, take a walk and see if the pain in your SI joints has diminished and if you feel a little better. The other thing that makes a really big difference with the pain back here is to be able to walk and move from your exact hip joint locations. And the hip joint video is right here. If you have a friend with SI joint pain, please share this video with them. And be sure to subscribe so you get more pain-free movement tips from the Intelligent Body.